Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and early good evening. Friday, the 4th of December 2015. This is John Faraclas from Allaboutshipping.co.uk in London with the latest on the markets and the geopolitics affecting same. The Baltic Dry Index closed down 11 points at 563 since yesterday, which is an overall of 18 points since last week's 581. Not good news. The BCI, the Capers, down 41 points at 890, which is an overall of 99 points since last week's 989 points. Volatility. And as we said, one size cannot dictate the markets. The Panamax and the respective BPI index was also down 5 points at 433, an overall of 23 points since last week's 456 points. The Supras and the respective BSI index just 1 point down at 469 and an overall of 2 points since last week's 467. And the last of the dry indexes, the Handys and the respective BHSI remain the same at 286, which on the other hand is plus 3 points since last week's 283 points. Different picture on the wets. The BDTI, the dirties, was up just 9 points at 962, an overall of 61 points since last week's 899 points. And the cleans, with the respective BCTI index, was just 4 points up at 547 and an overall of 23 points since last week's 526. As we have said during the last month, thanks for the winter. The price of oil, it's dropping close to $40. This is not good news. And we have to wait and see what will be the outcome of the conflagration in the Middle East and beyond. Now, geopolitics. The ISIS Pandora's box not of revelations of warfare, as we said, is up. The United Kingdom is also participating after a successful, overwhelming vote at the House of Parliament, and now is bombing positions of ISIS. And this is good news. The bad news is the way, in our estimation and assessment, that Turkey is behaving to all these circumstances, let's call them. This downing of the Russian jet fighter will create further disturbances in the region. And imagine, and you heard it over the world's television, when the Greek Prime Minister visited Turkey for the meeting of many parties there to see what's going to happen there with Turkey, the migrants and so forth. He mentioned to his Turkish counterpart, thanks to the Greek pilots that they don't panic whilst the Turkish jets, they violate every single day with over 3,000 to 4,000 violations since 2011. And this is something, to count how Greece is behaving in the region. This is very, very, very important. So, we have now the war in Syria. It's going to be a long haul unless we see something spectacular, something synchronized, and we separate those who really don't believe in the real peace on earth. Okay? We believe, and we are not just cynical, we are believers of what we're going to hear again. War, father of all. If you don't destroy, you cannot rebuild. This is the pitiful message in history. But even in a war, there are some rules of engagement. Okay? So this is important. Now, other issues, which is important, of course, is the migrants issue. We have raised this as the number one issue, far beyond the conflict in Syria, the military conflict with the ISIS terrorists. We have the migrants issue. We have put this forward to the world for over 2 years now, and we hope that we are heard. We are receiving a great support, and every single magazine, you name it, is referring not just political magazines, to the migrants issue, particularly what Greece and its islands in the Eastern Aegean Sea are suffering from Turkey's never mind, let them have it, So, caution. Ukraine, down the tones here because Russia is involved in other major operations in the region, but the situation is not good. Greece continues in the same level of events and outcomes as in the past. And of course, the enemies of Greece, they're trying fully to destroy the country. And of course, you have a government that really does not respond as they should respond. As for the opposition, somebody is also from abroad trying to destroy the opposition. And, in 2015, you don't expect things to go this way vis-a-vis the elections of the leading opposition party, New Democracy. This is all a very big nonsense. It's a very big orchestrated scenario to damage Greece overall. Okay? And we have to state this. China is trying to reinvent itself. Big crisis there. And of course, the important issue is that Chinese are pledging over 60 billion to development in Africa. This is the big economic proxy war which is taking place in Africa. Denmark voted no for further cooperation and obedience to European laws, if I may say so myself. And coming from Denmark, we have seen a country flourishing, a country trying to do its best despite what happens in the region. In the South Hemisphere, we've got some hiccups. An impeachment is about to take place, if it's successful, of course, the way they proceed with Brazil's president. And I don't know what Dilma Rousseff is going to do for wrong handling the budget of her country. Nearby in Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro is trying to be re-elected again, and we shall see what is going to happen. So, Northern Hemisphere, in the American continent, North America, not nice situation with the shootings there, whether we're terrorists or not. This is not nice, and of course I come back to the gun law. Something must change. If it is a terrorist attack there, well, we cannot digest it. We need the perpetrators to be put on the dock and punished severely. Now, other interesting events. We had an amazing conference, a forum of the London Shipping Law Centre on what else. What is bothering the shipping world is the shipbuilding industry and terminating the shipbuilding contracts. Can I do it, or can I cancel? That was a very, very interesting event at Stephenson Harwood Amphitheatre. Amazing. You can read it on another time what is coming up on this event. As you read these lines in a couple of minutes, the Lloyd's List, the Greek Shipping Awards for 2015 will take place in Athens Intercontinental Hotel. We will know by next week, of course we will know tomorrow the results, but we have a full report early in the week and a recapitulation next Friday, all going well. Coming back now to the period we are living, it's Christmas and the parties are starting up in the Square Mile. Just came back from an amazing event at Devonshire Terrace from Thomas Cooper, a great event which takes place. Check out our events, particularly the Capital Link event in New York about investing in Greece with 4 ministers there on the 14th of December. Our team was recently in Copenhagen and will give you full 5 to 6 reports of what we found there at the Copenhagen Business School with famous Blue MBA, Vista there, the maritime tourism and beyond. Finally, we remind you to visit Greece, an all-year affair. Thanks to the weather, the gods are with us there in Greece, and for you, of course, the visitors. And this time, why not visiting the islands of Kythnos in the Cyclade Islands, and on the other side, on the Ionian Sea, the famous Ithaki Island. Make your own odyssey there. In Europe, try the Norwegian fjords. It's not bad. and of course, at the other side of the world, diagonally, try New Zealand. With this, we wish you a lovely weekend. Mind the weather coming up. Storms are expected in the UK, and of course, storms in geopolitics. This is John Faraclas from allaboutshipping.co.uk. Have a lovely weekend again. Over and out.